I love these two games to death. Do not get me wrong. But not only is the enjoyment in endgame content different for me, it's completely different to a huge degree. Bars. Lately, these two games have been brought up all throughout my Spice Week series. This is day 4, and tomorrow will be the final day. But anyways, since I've been talking about these games so much, how about I make the biggest comparison I could with these games? The difference in endgame content. As said before, this is the 4th Spice Week video. The last video is this month's deep dive, which will go live tomorrow. You likely have already seen it, but just in case you haven't, stay tuned by subscribing and checking out my community tab and such for updates. Anyways, with all that being said, let's jump into today's Spice Week video. Oh! Let's have a quick overview along some disclaimers. First of all is the disclaimers. I will not hold back. Even if ZZZ is my favorite gacha game, I will not be biased, and I will list every negative and positive of both the game's endgame modes. Okay, with all that out the way, the second task that I'll perform is that I'll go over each endgame mode. In Zenless Zone 0, we have Shield Defense and Deadly Assault. Both are timed modes that work differently than the other. Deadly Assault is a challenge to see how many times you can deplete the boss's HP and earn points, while in Shield Defense, you see how quickly you can kill the enemies within 5 minutes. The full clears for each mode require a decent amount of skill to accomplish, but not to an excessive amount, in which the same cannot be said about WuWa. Wuthering Waves has hard endgame. If you don't have decent investment with good skill, it's quite unlikely that you'll be clearing. Don't try to tell me otherwise. The modes in WuWa are Tower Diversity and Wuthering Waves. In the tower, you check to see how quickly you can kill the boss without going over the time limit. For Wuthering Waves, you see how quickly and how many TDs you can kill to get clearance points. The max you need is 15k for the first part, and the final part requires a score of at least 4,500. This is a quick overview of each mode. I have poured a lot of time into these modes and I've cleared them, so my opinions do not come from inability to clear. With all that being said, let's start with Zenless Zone 0. The parts I like about ZZZ Endgame is that the skill requirement is low, and if you have a high skill level, you could do anything. You could say the same about WuWa, but the stuff I've seen people pull off in ZZZ with 3 units seems like stuff that I can genuinely do. We will get into that later in the WuWa section. Now, I had no problems playing Shield Defense since I got Miyabi. Now, it's not even because it's Miyabi, but it's because of how good I am at using her. And I'm getting better at using her too. Deadly Assault is a slightly different story. In Gacha Games, I'm used to building 2 teams for an endgame mode. But no matter what game I play, when I see 3 slots, I just facepalm and get angry. I cleared the game mode now, don't get me wrong, but it's not fun. Fight every annoying enemy in the game with shabby buffs and unit locking. It's so unfun to do. Plus, Shield Defense has also been like this lately. And keep in mind as well, the bosses are not hard, they're just annoying. They have shitty dodging frames that don't even work most of the time, with close to unreadable attacks to follow suit. Shield Defense is my favorite endgame, but it has its major flaws. Now with all that aside, it's time for my WuWa rant. I liked Wuthering Waves. Keyword liked. I did. But once the mode had its updates and refreshes, I slowly started hating it. You'd think I'd start with TOA first, but no. This is one of the worst endgames ever made. You are required to have gathering or AoE units, and even then, the enemies have just enough interrupt resistance to run away and prevent you from getting a good score. The buffs cater to the latest units entirely, and even if you use the latest units, you sometimes still struggle to win. I can see the potential behind this mode, but it's such a catastrophe of a game mode to where I can't even acknowledge its potential. Now, Hoyoverse, on the other hand, that is a well-designed mode. Listen, I hate the mode personally because it's not my style, because how to learn a combo to clear one specific refresh is ridiculous in my eyes. But, that's just a preference. In reality, the mode is extremely forgiving if you're smart enough, have good units, and or good skill, and you'll be just fine. Learning combos has enabled me to clear TOA every time beyond that point. Plus, like with Shield Defense, I see some crazy stuff being done. However, this is none that I could possibly perform since they're near impossible for me to pull off. But still, the point still stands. With all that being said, I think it's time to wrap up for today. Once again, I hate none of these games. It's just that your boy has preferences, you know what I mean? And if I'm being honest, Wuthering Waves is the only bad part about WuWa Endgame. Nothing else is really bad about it. Now, although you need 3 teams to clear for TOA, it's not exactly hard to pull off. Plus, there isn't 900 annoying enemy bosses every cycle. It happens, but not as often as Deadly Assault or Shield Defense. See? Even though I like the modes, they have their flaws. Regardless, Shield Defense still remains my favorite mode, because I do the best in it, and I like being good at things. But with all that being said, stay tuned for tomorrow, because that concludes today's Spice Week video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like the video and subscribe for more Gacha Gaming content. We're on the road to reaching 500 subs, so subscribe to make that mission possible. Comment down below any feedback on what you want to see next, and be sure to check out my community tab for polls and updates for upcoming videos, and also my Discord for notifications on when I post or go live. Don't forget to also check out my Twitter. I shitpost, engage 2 of my favorite creators, and yell at some dumbasses, so check that out as well. And with that, I am signing off for now. See ya!